Welcome to the Creekwood High School Football Coaches Show with Creekwood head coach Houston Thiel and Dickson Post sports reporter Casey Patrick. The Creekwood Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Preston Thompson's Carpet Shop, for all your flooring and paint needs since 1970, voted #1 in Dickson County. The Dickson Tater Shack. Their potatoes are fluffy clouds of deliciousness that'll have you falling head over heels. New Wave Hobbies, bringing back the nostalgia with all your favorite childhood treasure in one place. Ace Hardware of White Bluff, your one-stop shop for all your do-it-yourself needs, where service and quality are always on point. Drug-Free Dickson Coalition, empowering our community one step at a time towards a healthier, substance-free future. And the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now, here are Coach Houston Thiel and Casey Patrick.
Hello and welcome to the Creekwood High School Football Coaches Show. I'm Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Houston Thiel. Coach, last week, kind of a rough game, 43-9 to Station Camp. How good is Station Camp? Because I don't know much about them. I need a better idea, I guess. I'm not sure.
Well put together team. They definitely passed the so-called eye test once you get out on the field. 5A last year kind of bumped down and just barely got into the top end of the 4A cutoff. They, a lot of good-looking kids that came out and executed and did things the right way as far as execution goes. First time that I had seen them in a long time, besides just seeing them on tape. Mm-hmm. And good team, really stacks up at the top of our region, and just kind of since this reshuffling last year, just added another quality team to the mix.
Yeah, was that kind of the main issue though? Their size. I mean, what was that, or was it? And most of my question is, Friday night, was it more about them being good, or was it still on kind of Creekwood side of execution?
Man, I tell you, they dominated the line of scrimmage. They made it tough for us to get any run game established, and then they were able to pretty much run at will on our defense. We have played pretty well at times defensively, and throughout the year.
Yeah.
And Friday night was just not one of those examples, and it really wasn't from a lack of trying, or it wasn't a lack of really execution. It was just not being able to move guys. Mm-hmm. And Station Camp had a really good front that once they got hands on our D linemen and on our linebackers, we didn't make it off that block. That opened up a lot of running lanes, and they've got some talented backs that were able to take advantage of those creases.
Well, now, of course, I haven't had the opportunity to look at the region the way I want to, but are the playoffs still a possibility for Creekwood?
Yeah, we got a big 2 weeks. The postseason really starts this Friday for us, and we're in a situation where we really do control our own fate. We win the next 2 games and we'll be in. And that is that's a positive thing for us.
Absolutely.
And to be in a spot where obviously we haven't had the success and have been frustrated at times with how things have went. But, as we've kind of looked at the schedule throughout the year, we knew kind of what we would be playing for these last 2 weeks. So, need to win Friday, and then need to be able to win next Friday against White House, and we'll be able to get in. But, if that doesn't happen, then no.
Okay, now, my next question to that, how is the mood in the locker room? These guys, obviously, they know they can still make the playoffs. Yeah. How is the mood in the locker room? I know losing's hard, but they're still looking to the future, right?
Certainly. These guys, I think, enjoy being around each other too much to kind of, just flip the switch and say, hey, this year's over and done with, So yesterday was, I thought, one of our better practices we've had all year long. As far as getting around, executing, moving around, picking up on new things that we're trying to do for this week, and was pleased with it, So really looking forward to it, man. I think that the guys kind of understand where we've been at and what we've been kind of battling against each week, the last couple of weeks, and they know what's at stake these next 2 ball games, So we've been honest with them throughout the entire process of kind of what needed to happen and where we were going to be. So they've kind of been looking at these last 2 games for a couple of weeks now.
Well, and that's just another thing about. I mean, you've got a program that is installed here. You've got a way of doing things that y'all have been doing, and that kind of feeds over into the kids, right? I mean, it's still very business as usual. Even with homecoming week and everything this week.
Yeah, this is a crazy week, and yeah, business as usual is. I don't know if I like that term in the situation. You know, it's still we have a task each Friday night. You know, and we've got to get ready Monday through Thursday for that task. You know, we've got things in place in our program and things that we believe in that obviously haven't changed, and I think you see that as far as our effort, our attitude, and how we're handling ourselves each Friday. And you know, you're not seeing you know, guys have some type of mass exodus and let's just go get ready for basketball season, or you know, let's go start conditioning for baseball, whatever it is. You know, we're still showing up, going to work, and I put that into more of the guys just enjoy being around each other more than anything. You know, and they're going to continue to fight, and you know, hopefully we come out on the winning side of things this Friday night, and that makes next Friday another postseason type win or go home game. You know, and we'll just kind of see where it plays out.
All righty. Well, we're going to take our first break real quick. Make sure y'all don't go anywhere. When we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the offense and defense and get some names out there, some guys that deserve to be credited. So we're going to do that, go on break. Make sure you come back.
Nothing updates your home like new flooring, and we have it all. Carpet, LVP, wood, vinyl, and tile, along with professional installation, warranties, and friendly advice. Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 flooring store in Dickson County.
As your local Ace Hardware of White Bluff, we are all committed to being the helpful place by offering our customers personal service, quality products, and a convenient shopping experience from the local experts who know you best. As the helpful hardware folks in your neighborhood, we promise that helping you is the most important thing we have to do today. Visit us online or in store.
If you love Funko Pop, figures, video games, and Star Wars toys, you need to check out New Wave Hobbies. With new items arriving daily, there's always something new to discover. From Funko Pop, figures to video games, Star Wars toys to Marvel collectibles, we've got everything you're looking for. Whether you're a fan of sports, movies, or TV, you'll find something to excite you. Visit us in store or check out our Facebook, New Wave Hobbies virtual store page today.
At Dickson Tater Shack, we take loaded baked potatoes to a whole new level. We're not just any potato joint, we're the best this side of the Mason-Dixon line. Whether you're a traditionalist who loves classic flavors or a culinary adventurer seeking bold new combinations, we've got you covered. Located at 728 East College Street. Dine in or take out. Follow us on Facebook. Call us at 615-740-7111.
If your paint project calls for bold and vibrant neutrals or soft pastels, Benjamin Moore has the design-inspired colors you've been looking for in a full line of durable, long-lasting paints. And they're all here at Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 paint store in Dickson County.
Welcome back to the Creekwood High School Football Coaches Show. I'm Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Thiel. Coach, on your offense last week, you did score a touchdown. I believe, was it Xavier Knight?
That's correct.
Okay. Xavier Knight, and then Caden Thompson kicked another field goal. He's been pretty good all year
Yeah.
long. But who are some other guys offensively, and you can talk about Caden if you like, but who are some other guys offensively that have helped kind of push along the offense this year?
Yeah, I definitely want to take a moment and talk about Caden. You know, a guy that we've kind of brought up at different times throughout the year, and it's mostly been, you know, talking about how he's been consistent on extra points, or he's been able to place the ball where we want to on our kickoff team. But Friday got his first opportunity to attempt a field goal in a game, and it wasn't an easy kick. Yeah, I think it was around 27, 28 yards, but it was on the right hash, so it had a tough angle, but just come in clutch and nailed it. And you know, we went back and watched it on film on Monday, and you know, football has these positions to where it's definitely a team game, but you know, the light seems to shine a little bit brighter on certain positions, and when you're kicking an extra point or a field goal, all eyes are on that kicker.
Yep.
You know, and we all know, and the team knows, and Caden knows, hey, it takes the 9 guys up front to be able to give him protection. It takes a good snap. It takes a good hold. So when you have a successful try like that, you know, there's a lot of credits that goes around right there. And Caden was excited. The team was excited. Really hit it in a big point in the game. You know, it wasn't a meaningless one that we kind of tacked on at the end. Hit it first quarter, second quarter, early in the game to get us on the board and kind of sustain a little bit of momentum. And Xavier Knight had her touchdown for us, and all that came in the first half. You know, when if we could have got a couple stops here and there, you felt like offensively we moved the ball pretty well. Second half kind of had to get out of kind of what we'd like to do and had to throw the ball a little bit more. But you know, some familiar names continued to make plays. We're backed up on the 1 yard line. Alex Benson hits Jaden Elliott on a RPO play that probably the longest pass play in Creekwood history that didn't result in a touchdown and could still just be the longest pass play. Yeah. We're on the 1 yard line and hit the pass or get the read and throw the ball and run it all the way down to about the 7 or the 8 yard line on the other side. You know, so that was a huge play for us. But those 2 guys have obviously been staples. DeMattis Henderson, I know we've talked about him, but man, had a really good night catching the football. Friday found himself in some tough spots. You know, I kind of see DeMattis as a possession guy, so you know he's always in coverage and he's always having to make what feels like a contested catch. But man has extremely strong hands and just has a way of seem like he makes a play. And he had some balls on a 4th down catch. That was a really tough catch that he made. But another name that of a guy that you like to see that's continuing to make plays for us.
Well, and defensively, kind of the same thing. You know, anybody can look at a box score and see 43 points and think your defense wasn't good, but I'm sure somebody had a good day on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, give up 43. He definitely didn't have a good night.
Yeah.
Not something that we're proud of as far as anything we want to hang our hat on there. And you know, we definitely have had some moments of brightnesses there. Friday night was a tough one to find some. You know, we've had pretty consistent play out of our defensive line throughout the whole year. Friday night, you know, they made some plays, but also thought that at times, you know, we tried to make too many plays. And when you do that, you kind of leave others out to dry. And that kind of led to some bigger runs. So that's some things that we've talked about this week. But, you know, continue to play with a lot of effort, you know, a lot of energy. It's not from a lack of trying from any of those guys. We got guys on the defensive side that play nonstop motors. I mean, you look out there, Xavier, Nathan, Braden Windrow, Jaden Elliott, Keon Robertson's been playing a lot, a strong safety for us here lately, and having to play down the box. Keon made some physical plays.
He's a big
Friday.
kid too. It's going to be nice to have him in the box, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, and he's not one that shies away from any contact. You know, he likes to stick his nose in there. So, where you're looking at things that you didn't do well, man, there's a lot of bright spots too. You know, and it is hard to find them, and especially in the moment. But as you go back and watch the tape and you really kind of study, you're like, man, we're close. You know, we just need to make a play here and there, and you know, sometimes the other guy's just a little bit better than you on that particular night.
Yeah, I think the old saying was X's and O's or Jimmy and Joe's or something like that.
Yeah, certainly. I think our man Fulmer made that line famous.
Yeah. Now, and one other thing I did want to bring up, you were talking about Caden Thompson and making that field goal. When you talk about the locker room and how they enjoy being around each other, that's I mean, I know it's a big moment for Caden, but that's a big moment for your whole team, isn't it? I mean, they get to enjoy that moment with him because, like you said, it's a lot of moving parts that make it work.
Right.
I mean, that's a good moment for everybody, right?
Yeah, certainly. And Caden's a kid that probably would have never come out to play football if it wasn't for friends that he already had on the team. You know, so when you get those kind of guys, and you know, so many guys were like that, man. Just come out and give it a try. Be around the team. Be around the game. And once you feel like you get them out here, they're usually locked in and love it. And Caden is a guy that had never played, never did anything youth sports. Is in all aspects a soccer guy, right? He's a pretty good player at soccer, but come out and man, he got here because of his relationship with other guys in the locker room, and then I think he's really found something that he enjoys and being able to challenge himself in it. So I really look forward to seeing him grow. I think he's only gotten better since he started doing it. So I look for him to continue to make an impact the rest of the year and then into next season.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take our next break. When we get back, we're going to talk a little bit about the off week. Not too much there, but the next break is when we get back from the next break after that is when we talk about Greenbrier, and that's going to be important. So make sure you don't go anywhere. Come right back.
Ethan was just one of those kids who was so kind. He was 16, funny as could be. He was just going to go hang out with some friends. He wanted to come home early and get a good night's sleep. He said, "Good night, Mom. See you in the morning. Love you." And my response was, "I love you too." I was talking to him, "Son, it's time to get up." And he didn't move. Your head doesn't go that my son has died. Having a hard conversation is so much easier than sitting in my seat.
As your local Ace Hardware of White Bluff, we are all committed to being the helpful place by offering our customers personal service, quality products, and a convenient shopping experience from the local experts who know you best. As the helpful hardware folks in your neighborhood, we promise that helping you is the most important thing we have to do today. Visit us online or in store.
If you love Funko Pop, figures, video games, and Star Wars toys, you need to check out New Wave Hobbies. With new items arriving daily, there's always something new to discover. From Funko Pop, figures to video games, Star Wars toys to Marvel collectibles, we've got everything you're looking for. Whether you're a fan of sports, movies, or TV, you'll find something to excite you. Visit us in store or check out our Facebook, New Wave Hobbies virtual store page today.
He shoots, and he scores!
Welcome back to the Creekwood High School Football Coaches Show. I'm Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Thiel. Coach, of course, you did have a bye week before the station camp game. What did that make the week any weird? Like, did it make it different for you guys or for you as a coach?
Yeah, this is the first time that our schedule allowed that we actually had a bye week during our fall break. The last several years, we played 2 ball games, on both Fridays, and it's tough on the kids. It's tough on the coaches. It's tough on the parents. It's tough on the coaches' families.
Yes.
Because so many people have just become accustomed to fall break hitting, and then it just kind of being a little bit of downtime. And we're still rocking and rolling with football. So it was nice. We're able to get away for the week and just take some time off. And I know that anybody I talked to, it was much needed.
Yeah.
Whether it was getting stuff done around the house or getting to go on trips or just spending some time, with the family. But, man, so much for the kids, too, is that, man, they have a grueling schedule.
Absolutely.
They're here, obviously, doing their school time, but, then we're putting in time, for 2.5 hours, 3 hours each weekday, plus whatever they've got to do once they get home. And then some of these kids try to carry jobs, so when those breaks come and you can allot for breaks and time off, and we try to take advantage of it. So I hope that they enjoyed it and just got to be kids for a week and not have all the other stresses that go along with being a student athlete. So
for sure. And when I was in high school, I worked at the bowling alley and CB. I couldn't have, and of course I didn't play sports. I couldn't imagine trying to play a sport on top of that.
We have so many kids, Casey, that and I've talked about it during the summer that they come in here in dirty work clothes when they come in here for afternoon workouts, but we got guys that'll leave practice and go to a job, and we got countless guys that pick up a work weekends. It might be out at the Roxy or McDonald's or whatever it is. But I mean, they're being a teenage kid and finding a way to do multiple things. Which, man, you got to praise them for it because it's becoming harder and harder. Not only to get people want to go out and to work and do those things, but not put that on top of playing a sport, man, and all the other demands that you got a lot of good kids that
they're working really hard.
Yeah, 100%.
Working really hard. Well, did you see anything football wise over the break that you liked, that you took note of?
Casey, I watched some games. I can't recall anything that stood out, man. I've kind of talked about what I've got going on outside of here as far as trying to get a new house done and kind of things like that.
You got plenty going on.
Yeah, and then trying to get us as good as we can be and trying to fix things and get quick with football to where we can be as successful as we can on Friday nights, man. I can't recall one thing that stood out to me I just watched, man. I feel like if I watched a game these last couple of weeks, it's probably just been to kind of shut my brain down for a few seconds.
Just take a minute. I understand that. I've been there. Well, we are going to take our last break. When we get back, we're going to do a little preview of Greenbrier, which is, like you said, it's basically a playoff game. So make sure you don't go anywhere for that. We'll be right back.
Nothing updates your home like new flooring, and we have it all. Carpet, LVP, wood, vinyl, and tile, along with professional installation, warranties, and friendly advice. Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 flooring store in Dickson County.
At Dickson Tater Shack, we take loaded baked potatoes to a whole new level. We're not just any potato joint, we're the best this side of the Mason-Dixon line. Whether you're a traditionalist who loves classic flavors or a culinary adventurer seeking bold new combinations, we've got you covered. Located at 728 East College Street. Dine in or take out. Follow us on Facebook. Call us at 615-740-7111.
Ethan was just one of those kids who was so kind. He was 16, funny as could be. He was just going to go hang out with some friends. He wanted to come home early and get a good night's sleep. He said, "Good night, Mom. See you in the morning. Love you." And my response was, "I love you too." I was talking to him, "Son, it's time to get up." And he didn't move. Your head doesn't go that my son has died. Having a hard conversation is so much easier than sitting in my seat.
Watch it! Did that guy even see that girl on her bike?
Just like looking for other cars before switching lanes, drivers should keep their eyes out for those traveling on bikes. When a crash occurs between a vehicle and a bike, it's the cyclist who is most likely to be injured. Give cyclists room and do not pass too closely. Riders have the same rights and responsibilities as those behind the wheel.
Be aware, be alert. Brought to you by THSO, the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
If your paint project calls for bold and vibrant neutrals or soft pastels, Benjamin Moore has the design-inspired colors you've been looking for in a full line of durable, long-lasting paints. And they're all here at Preston Thompson's Flooring and Paint, voted #1 paint store in Dickson County.
Welcome back to the Creekwood High School Football Coaches Show. My name's Casey Patrick. I'm here with Coach Thiel. Coach, you got a 2-6 Greenbrier team coming up for homecoming. What do you think they're going to try and do, and how are y'all going to stop it on Friday?
Greenbrier's got some really good kids. I mean, they're kind of one of those situations where, much like ourselves, I feel like they're a decent football team, just haven't had a lot of success and for various reasons throughout the year, and they've got a really, traditionally Greenbrier's always pretty big up front, and they've got some big, strong, physical guys on the offensive line, defensive line, quarterback player that is he's a solid quarterback. I mean, he's able to use his legs, does a really good job of kind of getting out of pressure but keeping his eyes downfield. Then they got a receiver that's in a defensive back, number 11, last name Flood. That's a really good ball player. Yeah. He's one that when you definitely turn on the tape, he pops out to you. So we got to do some things to make sure that we limit his opportunities. A guy like that's going to make a play or two. It's just the way it is throughout the game. But do some things defensive-wise that, hopefully limit his chances and his opportunities. And then, we feel like we can do some things as far as the offensive goes about how, their scheme and their alignment that we've seen on film to attack their defense, you know, and that's just looking at the film, and you feel like there's some areas there that you can take advantage of, and you know, ultimately it'll be to get in those spots on Friday that we can take advantage of them, and then go out and then execute it.
Well, and how tough is homecoming week on the kids? I know as a coach it's got to be, especially, you know, being in the building and being around these kids all day. There's always something going on.
Right.
I know you're busy, but is it harder on the kids too?
Man, this is a stance that I took when I first got to Creekwood, and you know, different coaches I do it different ways, but you know, I kind of see homecoming as, yeah, it's centered around a football game, but really it's a school, you know, environment where everybody's involved, and it's time to be just involved with your classmates, you know. So I've never tried to limit, you know, our kids, you know, participation in, let's say, the homecoming skit or being a part of working on floats. You know, yeah, I worry about that we're down there using power tools and trying to build a float or, you know, whatever it might be. But you just try to tell them, hey, obviously there's more opportunity for things to happen since we're up at school more. You know, just make smart choices, enjoy being around your classmates. You know, it's a week-long event that they're going to make a lot of memories, you know, and hopefully they all turn out to be positive ones.
Yeah, well, and do the guys, do they look forward to playing football on homecoming night? I mean, it's got to be. It just feels like it's such a pageantry type thing.
Yeah.
And they look forward to it, don't they?
Yeah, I think that, man, anytime they get to, we talk about it all the time. I mean, we all do this for Friday Night Lights, you know, and the lights are a little bit brighter on homecoming night. You know, you usually got a pretty good crowd, and people are there, and you know, really, I think anytime we go out there, they're excited to play. But you know, especially this Friday, I know they will be.
All righty. Well, like Coach said earlier, basically playoff game this Friday, leading into another playoff game next Friday. The guys are ready. I think they know it. They know it's coming. So good luck to you Friday, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. I want to say, you know, hopefully when we get done, this actually airs, our volleyball team's in a chance to win the state tournament.
That's right. Because they play in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, so
they start about 20 minutes because it is Wednesday.
We're hoping that you know, the way it fell out last year, they played their state championship game on homecoming day last year, and then they were able to. It just fell out perfect. Some of the girls participated in their skits, and then they won a state championship. Then they get back and they're able to go around the track, kind of on the trailer there at halftime, and really get the ovation that they deserve. Absolutely, 100%. So. Hopefully they get it done these next couple of days, and they can celebrate again with us on Friday.
Absolutely, Coach. I wish TWSA would do something about the scheduling. It gets kind of jumbled up here for a few days. But we'll see how it happens, and like I said, good luck on Friday, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next week.
You've been watching the Creekwood High School Coaches Show with Creekwood head coach Houston Thiel and Dickson Post sports reporter Casey Patrick. Join us each week at this time on Main Street Media TV to get the latest on Creekwood football. The Creekwood Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Preston Thompson's Carpet Shop, Dickson Tater Shack, New Wave Hobbies, Ace Hardware of White Bluff, Drug Free Dickson Coalition, and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.